Go over there. Hi friends, it's Darcy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And a long time no talk. It has been like 2 months since I've uploaded on this channel, which is the longest period of time I feel like I've gone in a long time. And I feel kind of bad about that. So I wanted to sit down and like talk about my life and what's been going on. And as you can see from the title of this video, I've been very busy between full-time work and grad school, as well as my little doggy Riley, who's sitting right here next to me, somewhat confused what I'm doing with all this equipment and why I'm sitting here talking. So I'm petting him right now. But yeah, so life has been very busy, and unfortunately I feel like my own YouTube channel has kind of like fallen by the wayside a little bit. And yeah, I just feel like there's not a lot of people who talk about like how hard it is to do full-time work and grad school. So I just wanted to jump into it and talk about it. So if you are new here, I am in my second of 2 years at my master's program, which is through NYU School of Professional Studies. I'm doing a program focused on publishing, where I'm concentrating in digital media, and it's been an amazing program. And here I'm going to be graduating in just like a few short months, which is wild. It's flown by. But yeah, I didn't, like when I started that, I did my first year full-time and was just focusing on grad school. And then in my second year, I've ended up doing full-time work because I got this amazing opportunity, and then have technically been doing grad school part-time, but I've been taking 9 credits, which is still a lot, and then working full-time remote. And so I just want to preface by saying I like am so grateful for where I'm at in my life. I'm like so grateful for my job, for grad school, like for living in New York City, and I just feel like I'm overall like the happiest and healthiest I've been in a very long time. But that doesn't mean that it's not hard some days of like, there's just a lot. And I just feel like not a lot of people on the internet talk about this. Not that many YouTubers or whoever go to grad school, but since I only do this as like a side hustle, yeah, I feel like I've only seen one other person really talk about like sort of the, I don't know, scheduling of like what it's like to actually do both, which is someone on TikTok actually. And since my channel started out as like talking about NYU, it's in many ways it's like come full circle. Like so much of like my whole journey, starting like an undergrad and then now going back to grad school and everything, has come, you know, full circle of like this has been such a formative part of my life, and NYU means so much to me. And now I'm almost done here, but it's also kind of like feels like time to move on in a way from NYU content. So I think I've also been struggling with that a little bit, but yeah, so that's kind of where I've been. And essentially like what my days look like right now is I have like school 3 days a week in the evenings, and then I'm working like full-time, you know, like 5 days a week. So those days that are school days are very long. They're like 12-hour days. You know, like I start work 9 a.m. and then, you know, finish up like 5 something, and then like go right to school. Actually, I go drop my dog off at his sitter and then go to school, and I don't get back, like school is done at 9 and I don't get back till like 9:30 most nights. So and doing that 3 days in a row at the beginning of the week is just very draining. And yeah, just like keeping up with all the workload too between like work and school is just so much that like I just don't have anything left or any time for YouTube, my own YouTube channel, because I'm doing YouTube stuff for work. And so it's just like there's no time and there's no energy, and like I just feel like it's so easy to be like, oh wow, like it's so great, like you're doing work and school and whatever, but it's also just like there's only so much in like each of us, and only so much creative energy and just like even just like basic energy. So yeah, it's like you're just like doing so much, and I guess you only see like the output kind of, but it's like, you know, day to day it's a lot, and I just feel like it's all I have like space for right now. Like at the end of the day, I'm just like so tired, and on the weekends I'm so tired, which is totally valid, but it's also just like hard to do anything else, and has kind of like consumed everything in me. Besides my dog Riley, who has been like such a blessing overall. However, it also has been, you know, presented challenges as well, and like because I got him in September, right around when I first started like my second year, here, and so I'm like, should I not have gotten a dog then? Like, maybe it wasn't the best timing, but there's also never a really good time to get a dog. But I feel like he's actually been really healthy for me, because it has given me something outside of work and school to do and to focus on, and he gets me out, and it's been like, he's just been like so healthy for me overall. But he does have separation anxiety, that has really limited me in ways I did not expect to be able to just like go do fun stuff. So yeah, everything is just a lot, and I definitely don't want to like come off as like complaining by any means, because like I said, I'm so grateful. But yeah, I just like kind of want to talk about what that experience is like. And I also feel like no one talks about like how hard just basic adulting tasks are while having to keep up with everything, like taking care of the apartment and chores and cleaning and laundry and groceries and just like all the things. It just all adds up so much. And as some of you may or may not know, I've like dealt with mental health issues in the past, and like I'm mostly in a good place, but you know, it's just like a lot to handle on top of that when I like have a lower baseline energy, I think, than some people. And so it's just like a lot of running off of caffeine, which I don't necessarily condone. But I'm also like, this is just a phase of my life, and I'm hoping like when school is done, like to have better balance. But I also just like hate that this is like the representation that I have of like, I don't know, contributing to hustle culture in a way, but that it is also doable. And like I think it was like a good choice for me. Like everything, all the pieces have like kind of come into place in a way. Like I'm really glad like that I've done the master's program. Like I feel like I've learned so much. It's been totally worth it, and it did help me get my job, and like that I really love my job now, and that I'm in a good place with that, and just like so many things like are coming together. But it's just like the reality is we all only have so much energy, and like I feel like I just haven't been able to put enough into my own YouTube channel. Yeah, and so I feel like the back end that you don't see on like YouTube is how many hours go into editing a video, especially a vlog, because I do love vlogging, but I just, the editing process can take like 10 hours or something. And yeah, it's just like I don't have time to do that right now, so I feel like that's also partly the struggle. So I don't know how some people do it, like doing full-time work and vlogging and that kind of thing, but that's where most people can't do that long term, you know? That's why so many YouTubers do become like YouTubers full-time or that kind of thing, if they can support themselves doing that. It's just like, it's really hard to like juggle everything and find time to edit and that kind of thing. So one thing too with NYU is like they love to talk about, you know, the city is their campus, which is totally true, and like there's just so many opportunities, which is great. But I think it's really easy to fall into that hustle culture mindset of you need to do as much as you possibly can. And technically I work remote, like I don't work for a company based in New York, but still it's just like, I guess it's like so normalized here to like do as much as you possibly can. And it still like doesn't feel like enough, because I constantly feel like I'm still not doing enough because I'm not keeping up with YouTube. And now like there's TikTok, and like, oh, like I need to get more on TikTok, and you just like can never keep up. But you should follow me on TikTok, because I've been starting to make some videos on there just for fun. But it's so much easier, like it takes so little time to edit on there. Like that's the thing that's hard about YouTube. And to just like, even just in general though, keeping up with like content creation, it just takes so much more work than people realize. It is a job. But yeah, so follow me, and I feel like I'm pretty good about Instagram stories, like I update that better, so follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my daily stuff right now. Anyway, besides that shameless plug, yeah, I just feel like it's really easy at NYU to like fall into this trap. I mean, maybe not trap, because it's like a good thing in the end, but it's just like not always the healthiest balance. Like NYU, I feel like doesn't always like set healthy boundaries or like healthy examples and standards. And I don't really know what the answer to that is, because like I wouldn't actually change, like I wouldn't change what I'm doing whatsoever, but it's just like not the healthiest balance for where I'm at. But I also know like it's gonna be over, like I'm gonna be done with school soon, so it's also a phase of life, like I said, and that things will like be back to semi-normal, and that it is worth it. It is worth it. So that's kind of the thing I have to keep reminding myself of, is like I'm so happy with like all the pieces. It's more that it's just like everything is a lot together, but that like I wouldn't necessarily change anything, and I'm so grateful. And I feel like everyone in my life for the most part is like super understanding about everything. It's more just like I guess like people further out into, you know, the space, that it's like people don't realize how hard it is to do both, and not a lot of people talk about it. And if they do, it's usually just like, oh wow, that's so amazing that you're doing all of that, but that's like just like not helpful kind of in a way. Or like people who are doing one or the other, like, you know, they can relate on one aspect but they can't relate on both, and like how hard it is to keep up with both. So yeah, comment down below if you've ever experienced this, because I just feel like I don't know that many people, even though it is a fairly common experience. But I feel like most people, if they're doing grad school and working, they're doing like the more like very part-time. And like even though like I said I'm technically part-time, it feels like a full-time workload, especially working on my capstone like I'm doing right now. So yeah, and then, or you just do grad school full-time, and like, because grad school is basically a full-time job, like. And it's partly that I put so much of my own identity in the work that I do, and in school and education and NYU, especially because so much of my channel has been NYU in the past. Like so much of my identity is tied to NYU. So we'll see where things go in like 3 months down the line, when I'm done with NYU content, like for good, basically. Which is gonna be weird, but it's also good because I think I'm burnt out on the NYU content, because there's only so much you can talk about NYU over and over again and show the same like week in the life kind of things. So I do have some ideas on like the type of content that I want to make. It's not like gonna be that different, but it's just hard when like that's like the one thing that people like know you for. You know, you kind of put into a little bit of a box. Like all of my top performing videos are all related to NYU for the most part, and so yeah, it's also like become part of my identity, like being like this person, you know, doing grad school and that kind of thing. And then yeah, it just becomes your identity. And so it's so hard, which is one reason I'm really glad that I got a dog, because I feel like that has helped me have an identity outside of my work and my career, especially because my grad school is for my career. So I mean, most people's is, but I don't know, I feel like it's very like, it's not academic, it's very like much for my career. And so that's where everything just feels like centered around that. And I don't know, I don't feel like I have enough hobbies outside of all of that, but my dog is my hobby outside of that. So I know this video was just like a lot of me rambling, so I don't know whether you got anything out of it, but I think the point of this video is just like to have empathy for people in your life who are doing grad school, who are working full-time in their 20s, who are doing both, like especially who are doing both, because it's just a lot. Like there's a lot of pressure put on all of us, and like I said, I'm so grateful for where I'm at in my life, but I just kind of wanted to explain where I've been and just the reality of things. And yeah, so thank you for sticking around if you have, and I'm definitely hoping to be back to more regular content once I finish up my master's. Comment down below if you have any questions you want me to address, because I feel like this was sort of all over the place, but I'm happy to talk more about this, especially as I do wrap up some of my NYU content in the coming few months. So alright, I will talk to y'all in my next video, whatever that is. Okay, gotta show Riley. Look at that boy. Look at that angel.